about it, it talked about, well, let's modify it a little bit. Let's make it custom. Let's make it customer enough to serve the GSRE and provide much of this. He's also of the opinion. And by the way, there's a relationship between those two, in some sense of it. So he has a relationship between Obasanjo and in line of that. But then there's also one-party system, possibly tracking to the reality of Nigeria. And if that would not be helpful, it could the democracy trying to create as well. But you know what? It's also interesting that it's a be a time where the support is done, the appeals are done. They don't create unified sense of government. The people that they tries to serve can do. Do you think someone like Peter B or Bola Ahmed Tinubu will concede some measure, maybe not full partnership, some measure of cheap towards governance and benefit from the skill set, from the knowledge, the abilities they put so easy there as technocrats, as government experts, and people with a various level to release for. If article says, let's unite parties and get one position, and people be saying, no, it's not too much about unifying the parties, as much as about reworking democracy. The best of democracy is currently challenging. It looks like every time we talk about corruption, it looks like we've not worked out what works for that. But that's not working out. We've not so far. And you used to talk about law. I was listening to President, and this is not, but this is just me indicating how it can be quite interesting. Looking at the rule of law, President Tinubu talked about it in Benin, in conference. He talked about rule of law. And then it crossed my mind that the fourth governor Mefele also had to be rearrested, and there was a toss over who I'm still not free and that comes to play as well. And I remember then Buhari talked about rule of law under his own democratic norms and what he to be the norm. He talked about it so much. Then one start to wonder the interpretation and interpretation and understanding of what rule of law is under President Buhari at the time, which led to quite a number of politically held people stay within the custody of the security of forces. I can talk about Sudi, many others who have their own moments, Margaret as well, who have their own moments, and Power on the table as well. They all have their moments. Should have been held and let go of, and held should have been held, and many indicators that says working on our democracy, and it's not working, and there's real good reason to work parts of it and work it out to make sense. Sense of this issue. What areas need out when it comes to our democracy is situated. I'm streaming on Facebook and YouTube along team. So go on at Nigeria. We can drop your comments there with regards to what democracy to improve it. We've had the reform there about how democracy. President Tinubu is a reform Democrat, and President Buhari is a reform Democrat. He's brought on and said it yesterday, whether that was good or not, it's so called. President Tinubu's time has already started to catch. And yes, by the end of this year, it's a measure of progress. But democracy needs to be worked on, needs to be tweaked. We tweaked our electoral laws, and I absorbed a lot of promises, but short on delivering some of the things they saw, not even the expectations of the people. So they became quite short of some of they talked about that they were going to do. They highlighted to the people that they were going to use were not really implemented at the end of the day. To you, democracy and improving on the shortfalls that we have in Nigeria, that somewhere like Liberia doesn't have, there's somewhere like that doesn't have, even though they want it. The places that have a disadvantage, it looks like Nigeria's advantages at disadvantages. One of them outweighs each other. Do you agree? Lines are open on 0700510000. There's 0709510000. You can also join on 0859748669. Good morning.
Good morning to Femi.
Okay, sir.
Yes, cash flow reaching you from City Avenue.
Welcome, Castle.
Now, the clip you played when Peter B was, explaining some important about the intent, contesting, offices in Nigeria, politicians,
Okay, spoiled before the line went off. Okay, in about a minute to go for a break, but I'm waiting for that. Good morning. Good morning to you. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. My name is Peter.
Right, let's hear you.
I did with what President Obasanjo just said, African democracy. All right. In my opinion, is this our joy. The only time they are take part in this our election is not the pre-election matters, the process. Because elections are making a difference for the Africans. Okay, if the process is not good, according to our law, they can also go back and start all over again. Stop not to go on the end of the work. The law is one and two lawyers and two ladies. The back and collect and declare the person. Okay, if this was in the National Judicial Electoral Commission, let me know a slap out. Because according to our law, they didn't say the judges have pronounced the win. It is INEC, it is INEC.
Right. Okay, I've got to break it up. Definitely, I've got to break, but I do appreciate you. Stay with me.
Audio Jungle.
Nothing breaks the news like the news. Trust me, I can prove it. I do it every morning on Morning Crossfire from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Nigeria Info 5.1. And I'm Femi. All the biggest conversation around the national politics every day. In a way that is trouble. And yes, covers the biggest and the stories matter to you. Always is find out what's going on in Nigeria get differently. Let's talk with even this morning.
This is Nigeria Info. 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 This is Nigeria Info.
Abuja, let's talk.
As for said close by me this morning, as we look at the state of the nation and modernizing it, improving it, tweaking it a bit to fit into the African narrative, for it to be operative, for it to be used in Nigeria. Well, damn it, you. Here we go. Some of your Baba Obasanjo was one of those who championed democracy to where we are today. Here was politics was not a do or die. Things was Obasanjo who said the country wanted to elongate his tenure to a thought. People who fought him must all see things work out for our own good. Not religion, political, religious, or ethics. But God bless Nigeria. G. Abdulaziz taking straight in Buhari. Man, my name remember 11 Abuja. Femi, don't mind Buhari of law, deceptive talk. They're Democrats now, but preparation to rule Nigeria. Fortunately, both of them have offered Nigeria. Let Tinubu prove me wrong. God bless Nigerians. Other person from here says, see how people are misquoting Obasanjo. Just hatred for truth. Even though we cannot civilian president that performed that. In fact, it pains me a lot when those same people, for some regions, are in darkness. My happiness is that we are all in this of the clothes sued for the several failure of the present system. Right, good morning to you. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, what class Dr. Femi DMLA?
Okay. Yes, please.
What class Dr. Femi? I don't agree with this idea. Once somebody has done wrong, then he says it's not right. Or one is used, and the day he does wrong, whatever he do, because of Obasanjo, this administration, does that take away the fact, the truth? We know how democracy is practiced in separation of power. Understand? Respect for separation of power. No respect of people. We know all of. We are all witness to what happened. The end tale of Trump's administration. If not for the institution, please, if the African president, do you think he will relinquish power? He will not until the last minute. I won the election.
All right, you're making. I mean, I agree with you when you say just because somebody has always done go wrong in the future or they've been wrong, that doesn't mean they can't speak to the right. So that's we're humans. If you're human, then that's likely the human experience. Good morning to you.
Good morning to Femi.
Good to have you. Welcome.
Yeah, this morning.
Okay, good. Let's talk.
Yes, I have always wanted to when you started playing the parts of the president. We are working hard to do for business. Mainly, I pick up my phone. That I wanted to start calling. I think the best got it wrong. The environment is not by us, and the actions of the action of him at that office of the governor of Lagos State speaks volume to that effect. It's not just about pushing money and releasing and your money at a time. The question is investors here and make an investment. So now, they are bad or somebody is their money. How can they secure the money? Add many international to Nigeria, invest money and they'll probably by the bank or anybody. There is no look at that money. That is the situation we find us. When it happens to one, another will tell another will makes it very hard for foreign investors. It's not a math thing. Then he was talking about rule of law. He's coming to the bank on the Jewish country.
We have to let you be. Spend some time with us. We're grateful to you for your view. The director says, good morning from the, with compassion and character. God keep Okwete is my president. Thanks the patriot. As a man fit for pondering and prioritizing our common patrimony while acting our belt, whereas they're losing their activity, the patriot writes it in. I think it's referring to the speech by the President Tinubu. Okay. Zion from Bright. What you do send a video, but not that's about. Please, I would like to know what that's about. The road issues going on that you think benefit from. Let's enlighten me. Let me know. Patrick writes it. He says on the passenger, and he says that the Western democracy is not good for Africa. So as the passenger come, no, it didn't say no. It just says Africa needs to find his own version. It says how sudden as a passenger come to the station only after he used the same democracy corruptively in 8 years to oversee his family, just after his bitter sojourn in Trustly. So for a passenger. And he said that the theory of Western democracy has been good for Africa. Is it after Nigerians both at home and through their lawmakers totally with his ambition for time to suddenly concoct hatred for democracy? Or is it coming out of the bitterness for the failure of the presidential candidate for the last election? Or better still, can no longer easily assess the failure to usually provide weary and fake oracular wisdom to Tinubu? Okay, is really mean with his words there. One from the court sacks Governor Plateau State. That is not sponsored by his party. Well, I could remember a presidential candidate for not being a member of the party, but the Supreme Court about the judge. That's my question to Abubakar from PW Kuba. Okay, but it's true. I really put one of the lawyers thought that there was plenty going later on after the party had registered for and the likes of that. But that's a part of the issues that there is to do. I need to pick up some more calls this morning. Be glad you joined in.
Good morning. Once again, I did not finish my point before the network. Yeah?
Okay.
So the point is this: Donald Trump did not get away with it. He knew the institutions were playing it. He knew the consequences of their red line. So the individuals are struggling. So and that unless we strengthen our institutions, big individuals, what Obasanjo say, we'll continue to play catch up, or we modify our democracy to let use of call appropriate.
Okay, and there you go again. The Meanwhile, let me draw your attention to Silvers. Tuji Disu, who's the commissioner, denies any assassination to Rivers Assembly Speaker. That's in EA. Many of you have seen the story about talking about how his house was. Here's the response provided by the CP on the issue.
This morning call. The preliminaries we have done so far this morning are not revealed any other assassinations. All I knew was that police officers were on patrol, same thing, and then to get across to the leader any information he has, so that can include the what we already have. So far, so nothing. My plea and every other person is, if there any, my number is going to be made public. Call me quickly, and I will quickly look into it. For now, I haven't gotten anything.
Morning Crossfire.
Well, things are clear now. Now, the president of the court of Nigeria's court, Monica Dongba Mensah, was speaking at the lawyers, and she provides some interesting. I'll take a few minutes to share with you what she said. Just okay, take a listen to this.
This is inspiring. And I like them. They're your journals. Send them, let them read and know where they are wrong. And then the practitioners, the individual doubt, will not know why these facts to what is and persuade the Supreme Court to revisit their decision. Wait. Section 6 of the 99th Constitution provides that the powers vested in accordance with the functions of this section shall extend, notwithstanding to the contrary, to these all inherent powers and sanctions are responsible for interpreting, and in doing so, the court that the law is applied accurately, consistently in all cases. This is served fairly and ensuring the law is equal to all citizens, regardless of background. Ways Banire will publish on the 12th day of October to see of God. Because God is man is merciless. When we allow our Lord to be dictated by being in trouble, the solution is stay with the court. May be bad. We may not be doing the right human, but let's try. Thank you. Where the rule of undermined, the principle of all right becomes expedient. Results will be the court anarchism and the deep society. Thus,
okay, because of it, completely to what she said and provided as regards what she said, but a conversation you really want to listen to. Because she talks about judges, the interpreters' law. For them to even rely more on such statements, in certain instances, in getting ahead and reviewing that sitting before them, so that it's not a situation where court goes left in one instance and goes right in instance, and there's some measure of inconsistency with variations into the circumstance that you go in different directions. So speaks about that. She also speaks about the fact you don't also want to be in a situation where you're serving as a judge, and every time your judgment is overturned because your approach was not she talks about quite a number of things. I'll see if I can agree in some points, but this is a very important statement at this time. She's doing her work and advising lawyers, senior advocates to understand much of the around such and such, that would help everyone keep things going. Meanwhile, this, but I will still mention that Bala is speaks yes on Wiki as the man Tinubu using to destroy the PDP. Okay, a whole kind of issue, right? So that's something to venture into at another time. But I will come back to this one tomorrow. I'd like to pay the Court of Appeal present our view over law and now things. And also, another person will be following his view is senior advocate of Nigeria was cautioning court judges as a ruler judge for 2020. Talks out, how easy federations, and sometimes we have leaders that are on body. I know they are doing things right. It was a former attorney, so he knows what he's speaking about. So something to also look into maybe tomorrow into that. I've got just a few minutes to round up. Good to you. Yes, welcome. All right then. Yes, please.
So I don't know if they will talk, but they cannot follow it. Under the people that use the five price, refuse to receive it. It's a rule. The people that are ruling, they know what this thing. If you are that, what if your people to rule what they like to do, not what you want to do for them? People are so refuse to listen to us and join. God deliver from them and cabinet. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Grateful to you for your view. Okay, we've got to break it out from where we're really pressed for time, but I will see if I can place one message. Good morning. One party system has shown Chevron. That's according to John's view. Over time, would have been very better for us if we had gotten it. Obasanjo remains the best among the president that came after him. Joe speaks about that. And then you have him, Belajovic from Itala. Concerned of democracy is a demonstration. Supplementary budget is to assist goal of the fiscal year, not to spend on right. The judiciary and be the first habitual people's choice, just like having the military way in protest. Okay. All right, well, that's the thing that have come in on this. As this very morning, thank you so much for being part of Money Time. We'll wait to another national issue tomorrow. And yes, our condolence, Jimmy Carter, this family, the former US president, his wife, Pastor Nati. I'm sure the United States is looking into that human for the grateful steady. Before you do, God bless you. Enjoy the rest. I'm Femi D. And thanks for being part of Money Live.
Presenting Crossfire. Talk show unravels your thinking. To listen, engages you in the debate of.
I believe this man knows what he's doing in Nigeria.
And ultimately brings you talk radio.
Be there in the Fresher Millionaire going on pro. Stand a chance win a moving boiler and other cash prizes when you buy El Cool Fresh or Skin Glow soap. All you have to do